Yeah, what's up, guys? We're gonna get started in just a couple minutes. If you're jumping in, we're gonna get started in just a minute. We're just gonna give people a minute to get inside here. So we're getting started in just a minute. Hey, what's going on? Oh man, what's up, Tavion? What's up, Amy? What's up, Ivan? What's up, Tiffany? What's up, Deborah? What's up, Tina? And we got some people on IG, Facebook, YouTube. Hope you guys are feeling good today. I'm excited for this one. So I'm excited for this one. I'm definitely excited for this. All right, so check this out. Listen up. I'm not going to have you guys wait for too long because I appreciate you for being here on time. This is super cool right now. This is the first time I've done a scheduled Instagram live. Normally, it's just very off the top. It's very quick and informal. So tonight, I'm happy to be jumping on here. We got some people on YouTube, some people on Facebook. I appreciate you all on Instagram for jumping in here super early. So, I'm going to jump right into it. And I want to say that, what's going on, YouTube? What's up, Facebook? I want to say, if you're here, it's probably because you've at some point in your adult life have looked in the mirror, straight up just looked at yourself and you thought, I really should be further along than where I'm at right now, right? You've had that idea that maybe, I don't know, I should have accomplished way more. And that's perfectly normal, right? It's so normal, in fact, that almost every single individual experiences it. And tonight I want to talk about the one thing that essentially I found and I discovered that helped me get from wanting more to actually having more. See, and this is cool because I don't often get to talk about this. So I'm really excited. So if you're brand new here and you don't know who I am, my name is Marlon Johnson. I used to live in New York. I went from working 3 jobs, earning maybe about $20,000 in an entire year. I'm talking 20K if I was lucky is how much I made for the entire year, to actually recently learning how to earn over $40,000 in a single month. So I more than doubled my yearly salary in a single month. And it came from truthfully just understanding this one concept that we're going to talk about tonight. So check this out. When I was coming up, when I was growing up, I want you to understand who I was. I grew up in a pretty average middle class neighborhood. Both parents were in the house. In my story, nobody dies, nobody gets kicked out, nobody runs away. It was a pretty average life I had. And like most average Americans, I grew up with a scarcity mindset. I grew up so freaking afraid to ever spend a dollar that I would actually find myself in situations where I would be standing in the grocery store looking at the shelf thinking, you know what, if I go home right now, I can probably get to sleep on time. That way I don't have to eat tonight. And when I wake up tomorrow morning, I won't be as hungry. And I know I could probably make it till about noon. I don't know if anyone could relate to that, but I was just terrified of money. So I had this bad relationship. I had this scarce mind where I wanted to be able to be a person that could buy my friends gifts, and I couldn't think about spending money on buying gifts, let alone allowing people to ever spend money on me and buy me gifts and buy me treats and buy me food and things of that nature. Because in my mind, all I can ever think is it takes so long to go and gather this. It takes so long to go and make this happen that once it's here, we've got to hold on to it. And that didn't serve me very well because as I became an adult, I wasn't earning much. And it got to the point where my girlfriend actually looked at me and she said, the way you live, it's not healthy. The fact that we're going out and you're telling me you're not hungry. I know you're hungry, but you're refusing to spend the money. What's the point of even earning the money if you won't spend it to feed yourself, if you won't spend it to take care of other people? So it was really, really unhealthy the way I was living. And I realized something had to change. And I couldn't see it happening based off of my current trajectory. Working the three jobs. See, I would try to earn more money, but the only way I knew how to earn money was actually just trading my time for money, trading my effort for money. And the problem was there was only 24 hours ever in a day. I didn't figure out how to get more hours in a day. Maybe one of you has figured it out, but I could not figure out how to put more than 24 hours into one day. So I did the only thing I knew how to do at that moment in time, which was I started working harder, and I figured, you know what, I'm just not working hard enough. All right. So started working in auto zones overnight, cleaning through the mornings, figuring I could give up sleep. I don't need as much sleep. That almost killed me because driving home tired literally almost led me to falling asleep behind the wheel, which is more dangerous than drunk driving. And I just couldn't figure out how to earn money fast enough, in all honesty. So I did the next best thing, which really should have been the first best thing, but I didn't know back then. I couldn't think this far ahead. I prayed. I stood up, I prayed. I asked God, I said, please, God, if you are out there, like, help me. Like, I am struggling right now. I'm not in any debt, but I don't see how I'm ever going to earn enough to get out of this loop. I just can't see it. So, God, can you please send me somebody to help? Send somebody that's going to assist. Send somebody that will get me to that next level, get me to the place of abundance. I honestly I didn't even know the word abundance back then. It was just get me out of this current situation, right? And maybe some of you can relate. Just get me out of this current situation. So here's the interesting thing: God answered my prayer, and this is the thing that I discovered that I want to share with you. And hopefully, this is something that and maybe you've forgotten. And I know a lot of you know I'm into real estate. I'm a real estate investor. I'm an entrepreneur, and that I am a mindset coach, right? That I'm a high performance coach. And you might be thinking I'm going to tell you the thing that I discovered was wholesaling, right? Wholesaling real estate, learning how to go and flip paper and go make 10, 20, 30, $40,000 assignments. And that wasn't it. See, because before I discovered wholesale, I had discovered wholesaling before I discovered the secret. And with knowing what to do, things weren't changing anyway. So when I prayed to God and I asked God, help me, send me somebody, what God sent me was a mentor. You see, a mentor is actually the thing that changed my life drastically, like day and night difference. And here's the funny thing: when God sent me this mentor, I had no clue that he was going to answer my prayer and that my prayer was going to come with a price tag. Like straight up. Like I did not know. And I want to talk about finding good mentorship, because mentorship will change your life drastically. And I watch people say, hey, I have a mentor, but when I look at the results they're achieving in their life, I'm like, you don't have a mentor yet. Because when you get a mentor, when you get the right mentor, when you learn how to vet and how to go and find the correct people, your life changes drastically. So I was fortunate enough back in October of 2019 to get my first mentor who really changed the way I saw everything. He actually changed the way I thought. What he did was he condensed decades into days, because the track that I was on, it was going to take me forever to get where I was going if I ever actually got there. What he did was he did one of a few things, which is what you're going to want to get out of a mentor. There's going to be a couple of things that you're going to look for when you're looking for a strong, positive mentor to bring into your life. So the first thing he did was he actually opened up my mind to seeing perspectives that I had never seen before. See, I grew up in a scarcity mindset. And here's the interesting thing. When I was living in that scarcity mindset, and some of you might recognize this in yourself, so take note, I didn't know I was living in a scarce world because it was the only world I knew. See, in a scarce world, I'm surrounded by other scarce people. I'm surrounded by other individuals who grew up in this environment. So I did not know that there was another way to live. I didn't quite know that it was always this thing that was way out there. Maybe it was on the other side of the television screen, or it was on the other side of a tube, or maybe it was in a book, but it was a fantasy. It wasn't reality. And it wasn't until I met my first mentor, Pip, that he actually showed me that this reality, this fantasy is a reality. See, he expanded the way my brain thought. When you find yourself in the room with somebody who is constantly expanding your mind, you need to take note of that person. Do not let it get brushed off to the side because oftentimes it can feel uncomfortable. See, oftentimes it might disguise itself as you feeling intimidated, you feeling like, I don't know what I would say to that person. You are blessed with two ears and one mouth for a reason. When you find the proper mentor, you're going to be using this a lot more than you use this. This is going to be used to ask questions so you can stimulate this more so. So oftentimes you find these individuals, they step into your life. Maybe you find them through a book, through a video, through meeting them at a conference. You find these individuals and they inspire you to think differently. This is the first thing a mentor should do. They should be taking your world, they should be taking your paradigm and tossing it upside down. This is going to cause you to now look at the same world you were viewing, but from a new vantage point. When your vantage point starts to change, you're going to realize there's a lot more opportunity in the place you're currently standing. See, everybody is standing on their own personal diamond of acres. Acres of diamonds. Got that confused. People are standing on their own acres of diamonds. Right now, you are standing on a wealth pile. Right now, you are in the current industry. You're in the proper industry to do whatever you need to do to be a 7, 8, 9-figure earner. Right now, all of the resources you have, all the people in your phone book, all of the friends, contacts you've ever made are everything needed in order to get to the next level. The only thing that's missing is a new perspective. It's new thoughts, new ideas. So it's going to be very critical that the mentor that you bring into your life is somebody that stimulates that part of your mind that brings in your imagination all over again and starts to help you realize imagination can be reality. Number two, when you're looking for a good mentor, this is going to be critical. Make sure that they actually have something that you want, right? If someone came to me, for example, and said, Marlon, I want you to mentor me and I want you to teach me how to do box braids. I'm going to say, I really can't help you because it's not what I do. I'm not like, I don't know the first thing about braiding hair. I don't know the first thing about like what to do, what product, any of that stuff. So I'd make for a terrible mentor. So although I have success in one area, see, because this is what happens. People automatically assume that success in one area will lead to success in an opposite area. See, I want to find somebody that's actually doing and has what I want. So let's say you came to me. I would say, look, I can't help you with braids, but if you want to connect with me on building a indestructible mindset, if you want to connect with me on learning how to speak and communicate, starting a podcast, building confidence, raising private money, being the face of your company, being able to go after and chase your dreams, being able to get clarity on your vision and your goals, then I would say, all right, great, come talk to me. I got you all day long. I can provide that for you. I can provide you with a blueprint. I can provide you with a framework. But if you're asking me to do something that's outside of my realm of capability and possibility, I'm going to have to say, no, I can't. So as you're looking for a mentor, make sure you find a person that actually has what you are looking for, what you want. So the third thing there now you're going to want to look for is when you're trying to spot a proper mentor, you want to actually make sure that you resonate with this person. This is key. Resonate with the person because oftentimes, again, we look at individuals that have achieved a high level of success and we think to ourselves, I need that person to be my coach. I need that person to teach me, to guide me to the next level. I did this, right? I was looking at people that I was like, you know what? They have this level of success that I want. But honestly, the vibes weren't right. See, I would meet them in person and I would feel kind of strange. I'd feel really off. What's up, Randy? I'd feel really just like, I don't think this is the right fit. And you have to learn to trust those vibes because if the vibration is off, if the energy isn't right, what's going to happen is you won't actually be able to accept what they're trying to pass over to you. See, they're going to actually try and communicate with you, but there'll be a wall. There's going to be a clash. So it's important that you make sure your energy is right with the individual that you're looking to move to. So the way to do this is actually check their values against your values. Now, take a quick pause for a second. Before you can check their values against your values, what do you think you need to know? You have to understand your own values first. So when you start to understand your own values, this is going to be your barometer. This is going to be your reference in order to navigate the world and figure out who's going to be the right fit coming in or who's going to be people that you need to actually push out, right? And it's not a I like you or I dislike you. It's a do our core values resonate with one another? See, we got to start looking at our core values as like our children. What's up, Roberto? We have to look at our core values like our children. For example, I see Randy. Randy just jumped in here. Randy is someone I connect with and communicate with on a regular, right? I know Randy has amazing core values. He's got strong work ethic. He's a family man. He's always interested in growing. He's interested in being the tide that rises all ships. So he and I have some strong core values that get along. Therefore, we're able to communicate and collaborate. We can actually work together, right? He can pass information to me. I can pass information to him. But if our core values were off, it wouldn't matter how successful Randy is. It wouldn't matter how good I am at my job. We would not actually be able to resonate. We wouldn't be able to build anything constructive. So as you look for mentors in your life, as you look at them, make sure you actually resonate on a core value level. I'm telling you, it will be the difference between you jumping into a mentorship for whatever, 10, 20, $30,000 and getting explosive, like to the moon results, or you feeling like, wow, I paid $40,000 for what? Because some of us have already done that. I can tell you guys, I've made these mistakes so you don't have to. This is why I'm on here speaking about this. I've purchased mentorship and paid to have mentors who, in my mind, I felt like, wow, they would be so amazing to learn from. But in my heart, something wasn't right. You need to understand who your mentors are at a core level. That's how they will be able to communicate with you. That's critical. That's a non-negotiable. Do not go and get any sort of mentorship, any sort of coaching if you do not actually resonate with that human being. You will reject their information. I'm telling you, save your money. Go and find a better place to put it. Go and support the person that's actually going to grow you. I promise you it will be life-changing. I promise you. So that's number 3. Number 3 is finding somebody who you actually resonate with. Now, this is going to be interesting. Number 4 is going to be when you look and you connect with a mentor, make sure, what's up, Crystal? What's up, Alex? And what's up, JP? What up, Alec? Make sure when you find a mentor that this individual is somebody you respect. See, if you don't have respect for them, what's going to happen is they are going to give you instruction. They are going to tell you to do this. For example, I have people that I coach, right? The only reason I am able to coach them and I'm able to work and facilitate their mindset and take them from average performance to high level performance is because they respect me, period. See, I've worked with people in the past that did not respect me, right? And what would happen is I would give them instruction and the entire time they're questioning, man, who are you to tell me what to do? Why am I listening to you? So what ends up happening is even if I'm giving them the proper instruction, they are not following it. For yourself, when you're finding a mentor, find somebody that you actually respect. Because now accountability will kick in. Because when we respect people, we don't want to let people down. We don't want to let the people down that we respect. So this is critical because you need accountability, because at the end of the day, they can tell you everything that needs to be done. But if you don't do it, it can't help you. The actions you don't take do not grow you, period. Right? I can't get a six-pack from not doing the workout. I wish I could. If I could give you a six-pack without you ever doing the workout, I would be a trillionaire. So find a mentor that you actually respect. That's going to be really simple if you're also judging them based off their core values. Typically, the people that we resonate with at a core level, we also have a level of respect for because they are showing us our favorite traits in ourselves. So we end up respect. What's happening is I'm projecting my own self-respect when I respect the other individual in front of me, that I've given permission to give me instruction. So now check this out. This is number 5, and this is like an ultimate game changer, right? You got to find somebody who's still very active in the field of whatever it is they're teaching you. See, what you're going to find is, and let me take a sip of water for a second. I want that to soak in. So again, listen to this. Find somebody who is still active in the field that they are teaching, that they are coaching, that they are mentoring. They are still actively progressing. They're still actively growing. They're still actively on the field. They are still on the court. There's a very significant reason to this. For starters, they're going to have relevant, timely information. The world is changing so quickly that information that was good 20 years ago might not be as spot on today. See, principles never die. Principles will always be around, which is cool. However, there are going to be certain nuances that as you're learning, technology is going to change. Techniques are going to change. The way that the systems speak to each other and the language you have to use, that will change. You want to have somebody who's actively in the game of whatever it is they're teaching you. Also, what happens when you find somebody that's actively still a part of the growth, who's still a participant, what ends up happening is that individual continues to grow. So you actually get a longer lifespan out of your mentor. You actually get a longer lifespan out of the individual that's growing you. This is what you want, because now what's going to happen is your mentor-mentee relationship can eventually graduate, right, to a peer-to-peer, right? But if they're tapped out, you're spending a lot of time building and cultivating a relationship with someone that you can't ultimately continue to grow into the long term. So we got to think in longer time horizons. You have to think in longer time horizons. When you're looking at relationships, you need to be thinking about, hey, is this going to be a person that ultimately I can pour into as what's going to be my ROI, right? My return on investment in this individual, right? It's not just about getting the knowledge today. What's going to be my ROI over time? What's the compound interest of this relationship? Because my very first mentor, the one that I told you, Pip, the one that I met years ago, he and I are still in a tight relationship. In fact, I'm actually going down to Tucson tomorrow to go spend the weekend with him. I'm going to be spending Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, hanging out with him, actually learning more of how he's been operating and running his business for the last 20 years. Who else thinks that would be crazy? Like, if you can go and get a mentor that you actually related to at such a deep level that you're actually able to continue the relationship over time, so much so that it gets to the point where it becomes more of partnerships, it becomes more peer-to-peer, but you're still able to learn from these individuals. I'm telling you, mentors will condense. They will literally take decades and press them into days. So let's review everything right now. First off, we want to find a mentor that shares the same values as us. Critical that they share our values at the core, because this is how we will communicate. Second, we want to make sure that they're actually in the same industry or field, or they're doing, or they have something I want. I'm not, like I told you, don't come to me if you want to learn how to twist hair, right? I'm not your guy, right? If you came to me, you need to be coming to me for one of a few things. You need to come to me to get your mind right, to build a bulletproof mind. You need to come to me for a high performance. Like, look, I need clarity, Marlon. Like, I do not know which way is left or right. I've been chasing my own tail for the last year and a half in business, and I don't want to admit it to anybody, and I don't want to feel ashamed when I admit it. I just want guidance. I just want to get better. I need someone to be my skybox view. I got you. That's what you come to me for. But if you come to me for anything else than that, I'd be a terrible mentor or coach, right? So when I'm looking to go get coached by someone else, I might find someone that's amazing at multifamily, right? They're a massive multifamily guru. I'm not going to go and speak to them if what I'm trying to learn is how to get faster on the track. Find a mentor who is doing what you want to be doing in the field and activity that you want to be doing it. Success in this area does not necessarily mean success in this area. If you want a better marriage, it's not okay to just talk to the guy who's doing extremely well financially if his marriage at home is garbage. So make sure the area that you're looking to be mentored in, they are the expert in that particular area. It's funny that I have to say it. You guys might be like, well, duh, right? But I have to say it because, again, I've seen it happen. And I'll be honest, I've went and allowed people to speak to me and give me advice and counsel in areas that they were not experts in, simply because I felt that they were expert enough in another area. See, I'm not making that mistake anymore, right? I now only speak to you on the thing that you are extremely, extremely good at. If you are extremely talented at editing video, cool, that's all I want to get from you. But don't give me real estate advice. I have another mentor for that. I have a mentor for the creative finance side of things. I have a mentor for the fix and flip side of things. I have a mentor for just entrepreneurial business building. I have a mentor for my mindset. I have a mentor for relationship building. I have a mentor for speaking and getting on stages. I have a mentor for podcasts. Like, I find mentors to compress time frames. Take decades and press them into days. This is the game changer when you understand this, that you don't need to actually wait on the line. See, there's this illusion that we all have to go and stand on the line because that's the right thing to do. See, I want to tell you a story. There's a gentleman, right? He goes and he's in New York. He's at Central Park, and he convinces his buddy to go run. And they're doing one of those 5K laps. So they're running around Central Park. And both he and his buddy are a little out of shape. But, one guy's a pretty positive guy. And the other guy is, he's a lawyer, right? He lives in the city. He's a lawyer. And he's just like, man, I can't believe this guy got me to do this. So as they finally cross the finish line and they're wrapping up, they actually see one of those tables, and at the table they have the drinks and the little refreshments, bagels, bananas, and there's a line stretching, a good 30, 40 people on that line, other racers who had just finished, and it's stretching out to the back. And the friend says, hey, you want to grab a bagel? He says, I'm not standing on that line. The lawyer is saying, I'm not standing on that line. He says, yeah, me neither. Walks over to the table, picks up a bagel and a banana, and continues going along. The lawyer says, what are you doing? That's totally unfair. You can't do that. Says, why not? See, all those people are still standing online. None of them even said a word. This individual saw that there was an open space to step in, to grab a banana, grab a bagel, and keep it moving. See, in life, we actually have the ability, if we come at it from a different direction, if we come at it from a different angle, we can actually improve our situation in a much shorter time frame than we even assume. We think it takes so long. It will take time. Don't think it's going to happen instantaneously. It will take time. However, oftentimes the amount of time we think it takes is actually off, because although we're hardworking, we're working on the wrong things. See, there's a quote that says, there's nothing worse than doing a job well that need not be done at all. Doing a job well that need not be done at all. See, oftentimes we're over here doing certain things by ourselves when we can actually go and get help. We can go and find somebody who's already walked that path. I don't need to go and bushwhack through the jungle anymore. I can go and find somebody. So make sure that the person you find is someone that's been there, who has what you're looking for. That third thing that we said is you want to make sure that you actually correlate with their values, right? You want to get to know who they are, understand their personal story, understand where they came from, right? Like when I work with people, I tell them things about them. Like you guys, any of you that have been on Instagram Live with me at this point, you pretty much know who I am. You know about my family. You know how I grew up. You know what my values are. You know what I care about, that I like to see people grow. You know the things that I'm scared of. You know the things that I am just, it's not easy for me to talk about. You know this about me. You want to make sure you know this about your mentors. You want to make sure you know this about your coaches. Get to know them as humans. Get to know them as people, because when you truly resonate with those people, they will be the person that's able to somehow get the information, not just to pass through your ears and go into your mind, but to also transfer from your mind into your body, where you'll take action. That's what you really want. So when you're paying somebody, you're paying them to actually produce a result. You're not paying for anything else but a result. Recognize that. When I go and I get mentorship, the result I want is take these 10 years it would have taken me to do it by myself and press that down into 10 months, right? If you could do it in 10 weeks, even better. It's probably going to cost me more, but so what? If at the end of the day, the result is I go from making $20,000 in a year to making $40,000 in a month, I'll do that all day. Why not? Why wouldn't I do that? See, we oftentimes think Mentorship, here's like the mindset shift now. So this is what I want to hit you guys. The mindset shift is we think mentorship cost us money. It actually cost us to not go and find a mentor. It actually cost us to not go and continue that education. It cost us to not go and get help. We think hiring somebody to come and be on our team to help us with our goals is costing us. See, it's an investment, and investments have returns. You actually receive more than you put in. That's how investments work. You got to put in the capital up front. See, there is no investment that allows you to get into the game without putting anything in. When you put in the seed, the bigger the seed you put in, the more you get out on the back end. Recognize this. You need to be asking yourself, what is the return? What's the return on time spent? What's the return on money spent? This person, when you get that right person, again, they're going to condense time. You think it's going to cost you time, right? Some people are going to say, look, I don't have time though. Like Marlon, I've seen these mentors, I've seen the courses, and they need me to commit to, 2 hours a week, 3 hours a week, 5 hours a week. I don't have the time. Stupid question. If you don't have the time today, do you think you're going to have more time tomorrow as life continues to pile on itself? As more stress, more bills, more challenges, as this thing, whatever you're doing right now, as it continues to pile on itself, do you think you're going to have more time? Right? Or do you think it would be beneficial to work with a person who actually has figured out how to buy back their own time so much so that they can actually go out and help other people? Where do you think it would be a better time spent? See, there isn't a loss of time. We also often think like, I don't have the time to do this. I don't have the time to work with that person. You don't have the time not to. They actually will return time to you. You'll get more time. So recognize that your life can change. Now, understand that when you go and you connect with these people, these need to be people that you can pick up the phone and call. These are people that you should be able to contact. You should be able to bring your problems directly to, right? You should be able to communicate with them, right? They should be able to say, look, I see what you're working on right now, and now try this. They should be able to give you instruction, not just motivation. They should inspire you, because when you get inspiration, it causes you to actually take action. There should be a level of aspiration that you now want to become like them in that sense, in that particular area of life. Again, remember, you're only copying the areas that you want from them. If they're great with their finances but terrible with their kids, you do not want to copy all parts. I'm telling you, at the end of the day, people are people. So you have to be discerning in which parts are you copying, which parts are you mimicking, which parts are you coming to for the guidance and mentorship. Understand that, because it's critical. That part is critical. So I wanted to speak on this because, again, this changed my life. This is the thing that took me from being stressed out, working all my jobs. Like, I was in New York working 3 jobs, barely making $20,000 in a year, to now I recently, and I'll show you all I can't share my screen on this, but I could show you, I had a wire come through for a little over $40,000 in a single month off of one deal. Matter of fact, today, it's funny, actually, today we just closed on another deal where we made a little over 51,000, but that doesn't count because I have a partner, so I have to split that. So that's 25 and 25, right? The 40 was by myself. Next week we have a deal closing that's going to be a little over 100,000, right? And I'm here to tell you, it's not just real estate. Like, I wish I could say like it's just, hey, go learn real estate. I know some of you were thinking like I was going to come on here and say, hey, the way to getting to that point of knowing that you could do more with your life is going to be going and learning wholesale and real estate. It's not that, because I can learn wholesale real estate. I can go on YouTube right now. I could go watch some old Max Maxwell videos and learn wholesale real estate. I could go watch some Pace Morby videos and Jamil videos and learn that. But what really changed the game, the biggest needle mover, was when I actually took the time to dedicate my time, money, energy, and attention into mentorship. When I actually went and found somebody that guided me. And now I have a suggestion. This is my personal suggestion, that before you get mentorship, you get clarity. You get clarity on what it is you actually want first. Before I go to the grocery store, I like to get clarity on what sort of groceries I want to come home with. What do I want to cook? What am I looking to make? Because if I show up to the right now, the challenge is you're hungry right now. The challenge is you're in reactive mode, right? You're hungry. You're just like, just give me anything. Just let me eat. Let me go, right? We've got to calm you down. We got to feed you a little bit first. Like that's why I'm speaking to you guys right now. What I want to do is I want to expand your mind. I want to hopefully open up your perspective, right? I want to feed you, get your mind to calm down a little bit, so that from there you can stop and you can think clearly from your own personal vantage point. You can be self-reflective and think, you know what do I want? And there's actually a way of figuring out clarity, right? So I actually learned, one of my mentors was Dean Graziosi. One of the people I learned from was Dean. What's up, Kevin? One of the people I learned from was Dean Graziosi. And what Dean taught was actually something him and Tony Robbins had been working on. And I wouldn't say perfected because nothing's perfected, but they got it really stinking close. They worked on a tool that allows you to gain clarity in your life, gain clarity in your goals, dreams, and desires. Because ultimately, that's where it starts. You want to understand, what is it that I actually want? It's one of the best questions you can ever ask yourself. What do I want? And oftentimes, what I find is when I ask that question to people, most individuals don't have an answer. Most people have never learned how to actually uncover their own personal desires. Most people can't tell you what their burning desire is, which I think is, just something that should be changed. I think everybody should be able to walk around with their burning desire ready to go. If I asked you, what is it that you desire? You should be able to scream it out. It should be like your own personal elevator pitch, because any opportunity you have to tell people what it is you want to do, how it is you want this world to be, you should be glad and ready to share that with every single person. However, I understand that not everyone knows how to do that, because at some point I had to be taught. So that's why I teach people now. So what I'm doing for people right now is next week on the 12th, I'm actually going to be doing a 3-day challenge, right? It's an absolutely free challenge. There's no cost. I'm going to be doing a 3-day challenge to help individuals walk away with clarity so that they can know for certain, this is where I am. This is where I want to go. This is why I want to get there. And these are the capabilities I need in order to become the person that actually achieves that goal. And I'm calling it the New Year's in July, because oftentimes the only time of the year that we actually sit down to really think about this and truly meditate on it and actually go in is New Year's. It's typically around the end of December. We'll sit down, spend a couple of days, maybe just an evening, and we'll actually map out all of these grand and glorious visions of the next year. And by the time we get to the end of January, February, it's just a dream, right? We don't even remember it. In fact, if I ask a lot of you, what was your New Year's resolution? Most people wouldn't have an answer for me, and let alone they wouldn't be able to go and find it, even if they wrote it down somewhere. It would be just a thing they did that time ago, about 6 or 7 months ago. So I'm going to be doing a New Year's in July challenge. And what I want to do is I'm going to be doing 3 days. It's going to be the 12th, 13th, and the 14th. We're going to be meeting together on a Zoom call. It will be interactive. It's not just going to be me talking to you. It's going to be a conversation back and forth. It's going to be a group, right? A small group. I'm not making it much larger than the Zoom will allow right now, because I want to make sure that the people that are showing up are actually action takers. The people that are showing up are actually willing to put in the work and answer some tough questions, right? And be vulnerable, because oftentimes we're afraid to admit to other people, and we're afraid to admit to ourselves what we actually desire. See, I was so scared to admit to myself what I truly desired. I lived going off of what other people wanted for me. I was choosing answers to give. I was choosing paths to walk based off of other people co-signing it, me knowing that they would co-sign my decision. Those days are done, because once I started tapping into my clarity, and once I started to tap into knowing what made me happy, what resonated on the inside with me, then I started to get more traction. I started to find that the manifestation that I was reading about, the law of attraction, all of that stuff started to turn on, right? It was a lot easier to be grateful, because I was actually chasing after my goals. I was actually chasing after my burning desire. So I'm going to be doing that challenge. So the way to get into that challenge, again, it's absolutely free. I need you right now to go and DM me the word Q3 for quarter 3. because we are starting quarter 3. And I want you to start it off with the right mindset. I want you to start it off with clarity. I want you to think about waking up every single morning knowing exactly what you need to do, having a very clear vision on, okay, this is what I need to work on today. These are the characteristics I need to build. These are the capabilities I need to have. These are the people I need to reach out. So if you're interested in something like that, what's up, Daryl? If you're interested in something like that, I need you to go and DM me Q3 right now. So DM Q3. Now, if you're on YouTube, because we're streaming this to YouTube and we're streaming this to Facebook, you have to go find me on Instagram at Mindset Marlin to go DM me Q3, right? DM that, send that directly to my inbox, and that will send you an automatic message. That automatic message is going to have you get onto the wait list, and from the wait list, it's going to send you a Zoom link. See, the reason I had a wait list first was because this is a product I charge for. This is a product that I charge a little over $1,000 to do this 3-day workshop with people. And after speaking with my buddy Keston, he said, bro, you got to bring more value to people. You have to continue to do that. People need to be able to have clarity. So I decided to make it free, right? That's it. So it's free now. So you still go through the wait list, but I set it up that after you sign up through the wait list, after you get on the wait list, you will immediately be sent the Zoom link to pre-register, and you'll be registered in that Zoom. And again, it will be July 12th, 13th, and the 14th. So this will be next week, next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I need your butts inside there. I need you walking. The world needs more people that are clear on their purpose. The world needs more people that are absolutely clear on what it is they want to accomplish. When you have that clarity, from there, it will make sense who should be your mentor. It will make sense who you need to connect with, who you should call. The answers will start to come to you. But until you know clearly what you're looking for, there's going to be, as Kevin just actually taught me over the weekend, you're going to be running into a lot more noise, right, instead of signals. Everything that you see on social media will be noise. But when you know what you're looking for, that's when you're going to stop at a certain post. That's when you're going to get that inclination to message a certain person. That's when you're going to think, I should call Jim and connect him with Amy, because now the noise has turned into signals. It's actually something that makes sense. It's something you can actually work with. So go DM me the word Q3 to get on that wait list. And really, I hope this was beneficial tonight. My aim and goal every single time when I get on social media is to deliver value. See, I have a personal mission. There's about 7.8 billion people on this planet, and I want to help all 7.8 billion people to grow personally, professionally, and financially by empowering their mindset and connecting them to the right people. That is my mission. That's why I'm here. I am here to serve. I'm very clear about that. Everything that you will see come out of me, every piece of content that ever comes, every product I ever offer, my group coaching, my one-on-ones, my YouTube page, the podcast, all of that is geared towards serving people. The connections I make, the people I resonate, all because of the clarity. What would your life look like if every decision you made was intentional? Would you still feel like you're behind the ball? If every moment you lived intentionally because you knew clearly, this is my mission, and you knew this is why it's my mission, this is why it matters. So I want you to tap into that, plug in with me. If you don't have your clarity already, plug in, DM me the word Q3. Again, that's Q3. I'm going to drop it right here one more time for y'all. DM Q3. So that's locked in right there. Everybody, I appreciate you all for jumping in here tonight. If you showed up late, you missed some gems that were dropped, I would say go back and watch the replay. If you appreciated this, let me know. Drop a little fire emoji in the chat right now. Let me see if this resonated with you, right? I want to know who this resonated with. All right, y'all. So I appreciate you tonight. I'm going to bounce out of here. Again, DM me Q3, and I will see you tomorrow.